From Studio 3C and Rockefeller Center, this is News 4 New York.
Developing right now, a scare involving troubled actress Lindsay Lohan, the 911 call that's causing a lot of commotion tonight.
New details in the case of the accused millionaire Madam, the move she made to help free herself.
And we're learning more about the Harlem teacher accused of sexually abusing a student, the sick plan prosecutors say he carried out. Good evening, I'm Tom Yamas.
And I'm Sheba Russell. We begin with breaking news on Long Island. A fire at an electrical substation cutting power to about 14,000 customers. These are live pictures from Chopper 4. And News 4 Long Island reporter Greg Circle has more details on what exactly happened here. Greg?
Well, Sheba, the fire erupted at this LIPA substation in East Meadow a little after 3 this afternoon. The chief of the North Belmore Fire Department said the blaze quickly spread to a holding tank that contained about 5,000 gallons of a flammable liquid, and the fire was so intense that firefighters decided to evacuate about a half a dozen homes around the substation as well as an office building in the area. It took about 100 firefighters from 5 departments about an hour to extinguish this blaze. There was no injuries or damage in the community. The cause of the fire is unknown, but as you said, the biggest problem is the resulting power outages. 14,000 homes and businesses in the area lost power as a result of this. Traffic lights down at intersections have created traffic headaches all around this community. But within the last couple of minutes, we've seen the power come back on here. The traffic lights are back here. Some of the businesses are getting their power back. So hopefully the worst of this is over. But again, a big fire at a Long Island Power Authority substation here in East Meadow. It is now out, and we're dealing with the resulting power outages from that. We're live in East Meadow. Greg Sergel, News 4 New York. Back to you guys.
Hey, Greg, before you go, any idea on when those 14,000 customers are going to see the lights back on?
We haven't heard from LIPA yet, Sheba, but as I said in the last couple of minutes, some of the businesses and homes directly around the substation have got their power back, so that's a good sign that hopefully it won't be too long.
Just a matter of time. All right, Greg, thank you very much reporting live for us from East Meadow. News 4 also covering breaking news out of New Jersey. Police SWAT teams and a state police bomb squad surrounded a home late today in Raritan Township, that's in Hunterdon County. It was a dramatic show of force because the man suspected there of stockpiling and selling assault weapons, ammunition, and explosives inside his home. The bomb squad was especially concerned about 2 homemade bombs that were believed to be in the house. In custody right now, 37-year-old James Patrick Donovan. He's facing multiple weapons charges as investigators sort out his suspected operation. The News 4 crew is on the way, and we will have much more on this developing story as we get it.
And we're also following a developing story in the entertainment world. Some conflicting information coming out over the past few hours about the health of actress and Long Island native Lindsay Lohan. News 4's Katie Tur is live in the newsroom with the details. And Katie, this all started with a 911 call, correct?
Correct, Tom. Contrary to earlier reports, though, and rumors in the Twitter sphere, Lindsay Lohan was not taken to the hospital this morning in Los Angeles. Access Hollywood has learned that the panic was basically a misunderstanding, that Lindsay finished work on her Elizabeth Taylor Lifetime movie this morning at 6:15 after working since 7 p.m. the night before. She then went to sleep. A production assistant came in to wake her up, but when that person couldn't immediately do so, he or she panicked and called 911. A doctor came to her hotel room and checked on the often troubled star and found that she was fine. She never even left that room. This latest uproar, though, which sent the internet into overdrive, comes on the heels of the actress's car crash last week, in which she slammed a rented Porsche into the back of a dump truck on the California coast. She was taken to the hospital for that crash, but wasn't seriously injured. Now, Lohan's rep released a statement just a little while ago. It said that Lindsay did suffer from exhaustion and dehydration, but that she's okay. They hope she'll be back on the set later today. In the newsroom, Katie Tur, News 4 New York.
And we're also following this developing story. Darun Ravi likely going to be a free man next Tuesday. The former Rutgers student went to jail 2 weeks ago for using a webcam to spy on his roommate, who later committed suicide. He was sentenced to 30 days in the Middlesex County Jail, but is expected to be released early for good behavior. Once released, Ravi will have to check in with a probation officer for 3 years.
Accused millionaire Madam Anna Christina may be leaving the confines of Rikers Island as early as Monday. Her legal team says they have put together a bail package, one that incorporates her former lawyer Peter Gleason's home. This, of course, still needs to be approved by the court. Yesterday, in an exclusive interview, Christina told the Today Show she was only running a dating service.
We turn now to Brooklyn, where neighbors are gathering tonight following a deadly shooting involving police. It all started with a dramatic chase and ended with a woman lying in a pool of blood and an NYPD officer who may have accidentally pulled the trigger. News 4's Gus Rosendale is live in East Flatbush, where a community is demanding answers tonight. Gus.
Sheba, some people are already gathering here, getting ready for a vigil to be held within the hour. Meantime, we're learning more about the circumstances of the shooting and some background on the woman who died on the street. Neighbors in East Flatbush gathered at the scene of a deadly police shooting, holding signs, getting ready for a vigil, and asking questions.
Around here right now, we're in a somber mood, and we want action. This community, we need action because the police are not being just. They're being unjust.
Police shot and killed 23-year-old Chantel Davis after a high-speed chase Thursday night. Investigators say she went through red lights and against traffic. A police spokesman says the Toyota Camry Davis drove was stolen during a carjacking last week. A detective trying to get into that car to arrest Davis fired one shot into her chest when police say she suddenly put the vehicle in reverse. The NYPD says it's unclear at this point if the officer intended to open fire.
The cops have a version and the streets have a version, and I'm pretty unhappy with what I'm hearing. I think everyone can agree that there's a young lady that is dead who was unarmed. Davis has a criminal history, including several arrests, and was due in court for a recent attempted murder charge. Though supporters of her family argue her past does not justify how she died.
The officer who pulled her over did not know she had a criminal record, and even if she had a criminal record, in this nation, the job of the police is to make arrests, not to kill people.
And a vigil here tonight expected to get underway at 6 o'clock. Live in East Flatbush, I'm Gus Rosendale, News 4 New York.
Gus, thank you. When your child's teacher wants to get to know you and your family, you would think it's because they're a teacher who really cares. Well, parents at a Harlem school can't believe the alleged motivation of one of their teachers. As Jonathan Vigliotti tells us, prosecutors say that teacher befriended a family to get access to his 8-year-old victim.
29-year-old Rafael Sosa is described as the kind of teacher his third-grade students instantly warmed up to. Now alarming allegations of sexual abuse have parents and family of students at PS 208 asking troubling questions.
I asked her, I said, has he touched you? And she said no. She said he's too nice. She said she never gave her that impression.
It was just shocking to me. My daughter spent time with this man and, been in his classroom.
Sosa is in police custody. He appeared in court yesterday where he pled not guilty to molesting an 8-year-old girl. Prosecutors say it carried on for 6 months beginning in December. Sosa allegedly sexually abused the girl, kissed her, even gave her gifts.
The answer is to put policies in place to provide resources to support and protect our kids.
All righty. School's Chancellor Dennis Walcott found himself in the familiar role of comforting scared and angry parents. Sosa is at least the 10th New York City public school employee to be arrested this year for similar charges.
Well, I don't know if it's a rash. We've had a slight uptick this year, but again, with more publicity, more people come forward.
Walcott is now focusing on preventing alleged abusers from returning to the classroom. Under the current law, if teachers are found not guilty in court, they could keep their post. The chancellor is lobbying lawmakers in Albany for the power to fire teachers who are found to have behaved inappropriately by school investigators.
I want to be the final decision maker. I'm the one that sat down with these parents. I'm the one sitting down with parents on a regular basis.
And Walcott went on to say that if it were up to him, he would fire at least 8 teachers that are currently working in schools. As for Sosna, again, he remains in jail, bail set at $75,000. And as for the concerned parents you just heard from, they, along with their children, will be getting counseling here at the school. We're here in Harlem. Jonathan Vigliotti, News 4 New York.
Thank you, Jonathan. A Long Island high school student has come down with a serious bacterial infection that can lead to meningitis. East Islip High School's website says parents were notified about the case on Monday. Health department officials would only confirm the case, and they say the student remains in the hospital tonight. Symptoms of bacterial meningitis include high fever, headache, stiff neck, nausea, vomiting, exhaustion, and a rash.
The manhunt for a trauma surgeon wanted in a deadly hospital shooting in Buffalo has come to an end. Authorities confirmed that they found the body of Dr. Timothy Jordan near his home in Lake Erie. He died of an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. Police have been looking for Jordan since Wednesday for the shooting death of his ex-girlfriend, who also worked at the hospital.
Defense attorneys for Jerry Sandusky are expected to present their case to a jury beginning on Monday. The trial was in recess today. Yesterday, prosecutors called their last witness, an 18-year-old man who testified that he was sexually assaulted over the course of 3 years by the former Penn State assistant coach. The defense was granted their motion to present evidence that Sandusky suffers from histrionic personality disorder. Those symptoms include believing relationships are more intimate than they actually are. The prosecution will be allowed to have their own psychiatrist examine Sandusky.
Still ahead, the latest in the showdown between musicians Chris Brown and Drake.
And one of the famous Walendas going to take it to the wire in Niagara Falls. And Janice is here.
Well, the weather should be good there as well as here in the tri-state area. Wonderful weekend in store. I've got the details in your forecast coming up.
You got to question everything, like everything and everybody, and I thought twice about answering the door.
And people are still afraid, even though police say they stopped a crime spree in their neighborhood. That story is new at 5:30. We'll be right back.
Get the news you want when you want it. Introducing the NBC New York app for iPhone. Get breaking news, weather updates, and video of the day's big stories. Search NBC New York on the App Store now.
As many as 800,000 young immigrants who came to this country illegally will be spared deportation under a new election year policy announced by President Obama. The new rules will apply to those under 30 with no criminal history who arrived in the U.S. before they turned 16. The move marks a significant policy shift sought by Latino groups for years.
Imagine you've done everything right your entire life. Studied hard, worked hard, maybe even graduated at the top of your class, only to suddenly face the threat of deportation to a country that you know nothing about.
Those who qualify and have a high school degree or served in the military can also apply for work permits under the new policy, which takes effect immediately. News 4's David Ushery takes a couple of minutes now to debrief two New York City college students directly affected by the president's decision.
Tom Sheba, the Obama administration says this could affect about 800,000 people, young people living in the United States illegally. Two of them right here in our newsroom. This is Mubashir Ahmed, who's 22, a chemical engineering major at City College, and Johan Garcia, 25, in Hunter College, junior, majoring in political science. Mubashir, what was your reaction today when you heard this news? What has life been like for you, and what does this mean for you?
Firstly, it was unbelievable. I just didn't expect this, and it's just to have this as a surprise. And at this time, when I'm graduating as a chemical engineer in December, it means a lot. It means that I can work here with my family. I don't have to leave. I don't have to find work abroad to be able to support my family here.
Johan, there's always this sense of living with a little bit of fear and a little bit of disappointment because of what you're not available to do. Tell us what this means for you.
Well, first of all, getting the news early this morning was just fabulous. Again, all over the years, I have been living here in the U.S. for 10 years, and every single day we go through a struggle that we're cut on opportunities because we're undocumented.
Okay, all right. In the final seconds, any disappointment, though, that the Obama administration says this is not a path to citizenship, this is not permanent legal status? Disappointment at that or no?
Not at all. I'm very glad and I'm very happy with what the president was able to accomplish. I think we're taking the right steps towards perhaps later on to get the full legalizations and move towards a path to citizenship.
All right, Mubashir?
I think it's, like he said, it's a very important first step, and we're hoping to continue the fight with organizations like the NYIC and other people that have been supporting us throughout the journey.
All right, so there you have it, two people directly affected by the Obama administration's decision today. We also remind you to check out the debrief. We take a look at all the topical stories. It'll be on this Sunday morning at 5:30. For now, we'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you for that, David. The nightclub brawl centering around pop stars Drake and Chris Brown. Well, the NYPD now wants to know if gunshots were fired inside that club. Witnesses have reportedly told police they heard the shots at Soho's Whip nightclub on Thursday when the fight broke out. 8 people, including Chris Brown and his bodyguard, were injured during the confrontation.
It's finally Friday, and you better believe it.
After days of waiting, thousands of diehard Justin Bieber fans packed the plaza this morning to watch their favorite pop star perform live on The Today Show. Bieber thrilled the crowd outside 30 Rock, including some who had been camped out since Tuesday. But before the teen heartthrob took the stage, he helped today's Matt Lauer write his first tweet. Signed up. The Biebs then retweeted the message to his 23 million followers, and, well, the rest is history. So I just checked on Twitter, and Matt Lauer has more than 115,000 followers of his own already.
Yeah, and I think I saw Janice Huff down there with one of those I Am Bieber's girlfriends.
No. You weren't supposed to tell people that. I thought I was hiding. No, actually, my goddaughter and her cousin and her family all came up from Alexandria, Virginia for that. I mean, people came from everywhere just for the show. They love Biebs.
Of course.
And so do I with my shirt. Yeah. All right. It was a great day for them. Certainly this morning, the weather couldn't have been more perfect. And we go into the weekend with the same forecast. We'll get to that in a moment. Let's check out the conditions outside right now. Folks are all about in Times Square. Of course, it's a Friday evening. Everybody's leaving work and people are getting ready for the theater or just walking about because it's a nice evening out there. Temperature in the park is 76 degrees. That's a midtown temperature. Lots of sunshine above the canyons there. It's a beautiful afternoon. We were up to 80 degrees this afternoon in the city. I slipped 78, 79 in Bridgeport and 80 in Newark too. So the temperature's warmed up across the area. It'll be nice and warm tomorrow as well. More of the same. Cool tonight though. The temperature's dropping down into the 50s in most spots, maybe even some 40s north and west. And on Father's Day, Sunday, it looks like it's going to be slightly cooler. Our winds are going to shift a little bit and become more onshore from the ocean, so the temperatures will drop a few degrees. So the warmest day will be Saturday at 78, and then Sunday's high temperature 72 for Father's Day. A little bit cooler, a few clouds, but still plenty of sun. Right now across Connecticut, 77 in Ridgefield, near 80 in Stamford right now. You're in the 70s across Long Island too. Farther inland, we warm up a little bit. Morristown, 81. 80 in Poughkeepsie. Satellite and radar is pretty clear with the exception of some high clouds that are straddling the area, but no rain to speak of. Here's our weekend getaway for the eastern end. We'll get the Jersey Shore a little bit later, but for now, let's go out towards Long Island for the weather for this weekend. Nice and beautiful and sunny. Now, the warmest day in the Hamptons and much of the south-facing shores will be Saturday because of the different wind directions. Sunday will be cooler and cloudier, especially in the morning, because of the onshore flow. So just keep that in mind. Southampton, 71 on Saturday, 69 degrees on Sunday, 72 in Greenport on Saturday, 65 on Sunday, and temperatures are in the 70s in Montauk early on Saturday, but then on Sunday it's cooler in the 60s. Cincinnati Reds are in town against the Mets, 72 degrees this evening. It's nice weather for baseball. And for tonight's forecast, 61 in Midtown, partly to mostly clear, with temperatures in the 50s in the suburbs. Tomorrow morning, we'll see readings in the mid-60s. It's a pretty nice start to the day. And here's our 7-day forecast. We end up with another sunny, beautiful day here. 78 in the city, 72 on Sunday, cooler for Father's Day, but still sunny. No rain across the board all the way to next week. And look at next week. Wednesday, summer officially begins, and it'll feel like it with a high of 90. More details in the forecast coming up a little. Oh, and you can always check us on your smartphone, too. Those are some more details. The News 4 Weather Team is on Facebook and Twitter. Like us or follow us for the latest weather updates. Now back to Tom and Sheba.
Okay, Janice, thank you. There's still much more ahead on News 4 New York at 5. Just what is making Sue and Matt laugh so much? We go back into the archives to celebrate the wonderful career of Sue Simmons.
And it's a daring stunt that could make history. One man's attempt to walk a tightrope across Niagara Falls. We're live in the minutes ahead.
And we want you to join our conversation. Tweet us at TomYamas4NY and Sheba4NY. And we're also on Facebook. We'll be right back.
We're looking for those 115,000 followers.
Oh, yeah. Please. We're back now with one man, one rope, and a goal to land in the history books.
Tonight, daredevil Nick Wallenda will attempt to walk a tightrope across Niagara Falls, something that's never been done before. Jay Gray is live in Niagara Falls, where crowds are quickly forming to get a glimpse of this. So, Jay, I was wondering, we saw all of the fans gathering for Justin Bieber on the plaza this morning. Who's going to have a bigger crowd?
Shiva, Tom, I hate to go against the Biebs, but I think we will see more people here at Niagara Falls. They predict up to 120,000 people will be here physically on the grounds to watch this. Of course, millions watching around the world. Look, the natural wonder behind me, already obviously a huge tourist attraction. Millions every year come to take a walk through Niagara Falls Park. The walk tonight through the park, though, takes on a whole new and historic meaning. Thousands will gather at Niagara Falls this evening, ironically hoping not to see a fall.
It's a incredibly scary undertaking, in my opinion.
Fear that stretches along this 7-ton, 1,800-foot cable 200 feet above the raging waters for everyone, it seems, except the man who will try to walk it.
It's more anticipation and excitement than anything. It's hard for people to understand. I've walked a wire since I was 2 years old, so it's very natural to me.
Nick Wallenda is a 7th-generation daredevil. The great Wallendas, the fabulous Wallendas, and the flying Wallendas have been tempting fate since the late 1700s.
This is what we love to do.
But no one has ever done this, something Wallenda says will be on his mind as he tries to take an emotional step into history.
I'm sure there'll be some tears involved because this is a dream, something that no one in the world's ever done.
And something that some of the more than 100,000 expected to gather and watch the walk believe may not happen tonight.
When I came down here and really looked at what he's going to do, it's my impression he's going to fall.
Wallenda's sponsors have forced him to wear a harness.
It's unique for sure. It's something that I've had little training, very little training on. It doesn't keep me on the wire in any way. It keeps me safe from dying. I still have to balance. I still have to stay on top of that wire.
Something he's practiced and prepared for and is confident will happen.
The first step's the hardest, for sure. But once I'm on that wire, I'm committed, and I'm going to make it across to the other side.
A journey that begins with that first step in just a few hours. And it's a step Wallenda will take in a pair of thin, handcrafted moccasins made by his mom. Another Wallenda family tradition. And Tom, Sheba, that's really the only reason I'm not jumping up on the wire to take a walk. The moccasins aren't my size.
Moccasins.
Good excuse, Jay.
No ballet slippers, huh?
A majestic sight behind you. Thanks so much, Jay. Appreciate it. Coming up next on News 4 New York at 5. Are these going to be the horses and carriages of the future? Some people think those romantic rides through the park should be in a car.
And I bet you this is not what you would want to see in the morning. Imagine walking out and seeing your car look like this. Also,
just when they thought the crime spree might be over, another series of burglaries hits this Wayne community, leaving residents terrified. I'm Pat Battle. Their stories coming up.
5:30 right now. We continue to follow breaking news out of Long Island, where a fire broke out at an electric substation in North Belmore.
News 4 Long Island reporter Greg Sergel is on the scene now with the latest. Greg?
Well, guys, thousands of Long Island Power Authority customers here in Nassau County breathing a big sigh of relief tonight. As you said, there was a fire at a LIPA substation here about 2 hours ago, and it knocked out electricity to more than 13,000 customers. But LIPA told us just a few minutes ago, everybody has their power back. So not a bad ending to what could have been a bad situation. There were about a half a dozen homes here surrounding the substation that had to be evacuated, including an office building, but there were no injuries as a result of the fire. The cause of the fire is unclear right now, but as I explained earlier, it began in the substation and was transferred to a 5,000-gallon holding tank that was holding some flammable liquid. I saw a photograph of the scene here. The smoke extended above the trees, but again, the fire was put out in about an hour. Everybody back in their home now, and everybody has their power back on. We're live tonight outside the North Belmore substation. I'm Greg Sergel, News 4 New York. Back to you guys.
Greg, thank you. A burglary spree continues to terrorize numerous towns in New Jersey, even after arrests were made. Numerous homes have been hit in Bergen and Passaic counties, and just this week, burglars struck 3 more times, most recently in Wayne. And as News 4's Pat Battle reports, residents are now living in fear.
It was very terrifying, and we felt so violated. It's knowing somebody's in your home, rummaging through your things.
The Hayden family knows firsthand what their neighbors are going through. They were victims themselves 2 years ago when they came home on a rainy summer night to find their back door kicked in.
The detectives made us stay down here, and then they said, "Mom, you come up first. Brace yourself." And when I walked into that bedroom, and I just saw it ransacked, you can't even describe that feeling.
Young Chris, so haunted, he wrote a school paper about it.
It stayed with us for about a year. He shook for 48 hours.
I really couldn't sleep, even the week after it happened, because it felt like you aren't safe anymore.
Those feelings came rushing back when the house down the block was hit earlier this week. People living in this area had just begun to breathe a sigh of relief after police arrested these 2 Hackensack men last week in the investigation into a string of burglaries all over Bergen and Passaic counties. But just when they thought it was safe to sleep with the lights out, 3 more burglaries in as many days.
Puts you at a little state of unrest, I'd have to say I'm checking my windows a little bit more. I'm locking the door. I'm closing my sliding glass door when I bring the kids up to nap.
I keep my alarm all the time until on the night we went to sleep too. Yes.
Even when you're home, you keep it on?
Yes, yes.
The owner of this house on Oak Lane was not at home when it was hit. He had left the alarm on, though, but that was not a deterrent. The burglars went around to the back, found a ladder in the bushes, propped it up against the house, and went in through a second-floor window into the master bedroom. They ransacked it, never set foot outside that room, and never tripped the alarm.
Catch the people who are doing this, and maybe it'll deter other people from doing it.
There's nothing left to steal, so sorry.
Wayne police did not return our phone calls. Meantime, residents are keeping a watchful eye on their homes and their neighbors.
What we experience, and as a family, we don't want anybody else to go through this.
In Wayne, Pat Battle, News 4, New York.
And we have even more breaking news tonight. We are tracking a fire in Elmsford, New York. You can see crews on the ground right now. 1 home destroyed, another at risk. Let's get the very latest from Chopper 4's Dennis Protzko. Dennis?
That's right, Sheba. This fire breaking out around 4:30 this afternoon. Live pictures here from Chopper 4, bringing it right down towards ground level. You can see, as you mentioned, that first house already destroyed. All 4 walls caving in within the last 10 or 15 minutes. You can see just the front portion of that building still standing. The second house over to the left, again, a 2.5-story house, now going up in flames as well. You can see fire coming up from the roof. We also have a tower ladder out in front. Also, firefighters going right through the front door, trying to attack this fire from inside. Just to set the scene for you, this is Woodside Avenue. This is just to the northeast of the intersection of 287 and the Springbrook. As we bring the camera out, you can actually see 287 in the foreground. That gets by with just some slower traffic. A lot of smoke, obviously, coming up from this fire. As I mentioned, Woodside Avenue here, this is actually a cul-de-sac, a dead end, so that is obviously closed down with a lot of fire activity. This fire going to a second alarm. Mutual aid called in from at least 2 to 3 additional departments. What we do have here is Knollwood Road. You can see this intersection closed off right now between 287 and Old Terrytown Road with, again, lines across the street and running down the stretch of Woodside Avenue. Good news so far here, again, with 2 buildings still burning, 2 houses burning. We have no reported injuries. It sounds like everybody made it out okay. But again, 1 house, a complete loss to the right side. Second house still burning right now. And Elmsford Fire with a number of fire departments in the area still helping out. Reporting live aboard Chopper 4, I'm Dennis Protzko. Tom and Sheba, back to you in the studio.
And we'll continue to follow this breaking story throughout the newscast. Dennis, thank you so much. Several residents in Valley Stream started their day by walking right into a crime scene. Vandals smashed the windows of at least 6 cars. Police tell News 4 they believe the smashings happened sometime after 6 last night in a stretch near the Gibson station of the Long Island Railroad.
Environmental and animal activists took to the steps of City Hall this afternoon to garner support for a program that would phase out Central Park's horse and carriage industry. Members of the organization, New Yorkers for Clean, Livable, and Safe Streets, along with PETA and elected officials, want electric vintage cars like this model to replace the horse and carriage. Organizers say the horse and carriage is antiquated and just too dangerous.
People are demanding action here. We have had accident after accident. You know, is this going to be a situation where once again we have to have an even worse accident for government to act? No, we're all saying let's act now.
Organizers say carriage operators would not lose their jobs. Under this proposal, they would become operators of a new horseless carriage. Still ahead here on News 4 New York at 5, today's Freebie Friday deals. Linda, what can we get tonight?
Well, Sheba, today we're going to give you a day full of freebies. We'll take you from breakfast to lunch to dinner. We team up with Foursquare to show you how you can score tons of freebies all over town right here on Freebie Friday. That's coming up in 15 minutes.
And up next, a moment with Sue Simmons and Matt Lauer from our archives that we love so much, we decided to show you the whole thing. You won't want to miss this.
We're not going to go to a break.
Welcome back. As many of you know, today is Sue Simmons' last day, and we've been looking at some of the high points of her career, although let's be honest, there isn't enough time in a day to capture all of them.
And there was this one on-air moment that sticks in Sue's memories, and we thought we would share it with you in its entirety. Chuck is here to take us through it. Chuck?
Well, thanks, Tom and Sheba. You know, Sue and I have been a team for 32 and a half years here. But the moment you're about to see was with some other guy you might have heard of, Matt Lauer. He was Sue's co-anchor on Live at 5 in the mid-90s. And Matt says he's only cracked up during a live broadcast twice in his career. This is one of them. Matt and Sue were doing a roundup of national news, and Matt was talking about an ad campaign to eliminate trash TV, and they were surprised by the video.
The ads do not target specific shows, but sound the theme, Take the Trash Out of Talk Television. They begin airing on Friday. And for the classic Christmas snapshot today, you had to go to South Roanoke, Virginia, which was blanketed by nearly a foot of fresh snow. The white stuff came as a surprise to people living in Southwest Virginia. They're not ready for such a thing, and they had to slow it down on the way to work today.
I'm sorry, we're still a little tickled about that trash talk red dress number. In our news.
Okay.
All right. In our news from around the region. Maybe we got to go to a break. Maybe just let's go to a break. This is terrible. We're not going to go to a break, thanks. In our news from around the region, a tentative contract for Nassau County Police. It's a 5-year deal that would provide small wage increases and fewer sick days. However, it keeps health benefits at their current levels. A final vote is pending.
Lead poisoning will be the focus of a New York City Council hearing tomorrow. At issue, a proposed set of lead paint regulations. Critics say they are weaker than current rules.
Well,
I should have just gone to break, right?
Yeah, yeah. What was the one thing you remember for that video right now? The one thing, just looking at that.
The red dress?
Yeah, the woman in the red dress.
Yeah. Well, how about Matt's hair?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and his eyebrows.
Just amazing.
Yeah.
That was quite a hairdo we had there. I kind of forgot about that.
We should have done it before and now, yes.
Now, this is, we're not finished with this, by the way.
Okay.
No,
All right.
there is more. For some inexplicable reason, later in that very same newscast, the control room decided it would be a good idea for Matt and Sue to explain why they lost it.
And as we introduce Al Roker, let's just explain something that happened before. We had a bit of a laughing attack here. Yes. The reason being that we were unprepared for a piece of videotape that was shown.
Yes, it was involving a group of people who are protesting trashy talk show afternoons, and this is one of the things that they want to outlaw.
Maybe this wasn't a good idea to bring that tape
just,
back up again.
It was going into a serious story, and we just caught it out of the corner of our eyes, and it just made
Before
us
you
laugh.
come down on us, think about when was the last time you saw us really break up in the last 10, 15 years, just once. It was a couple of weeks ago. Thank you, control room. Who were nice enough not to go to a commercial, by the way.
Okay.
That said, we're sorry. And Al, you be our champion and continue on in professionalism.
I know somewhere on the West Coast, Dick Clark is thinking, next blooper special, baby. No, but these things happen.
Do you forgive us, Al?
I forgive you, and of course I know the audience does, because they know that, look, you get one of those laughing jags and you can't get off it.
And it's so contagious, isn't it?
Oh, it is, yeah. Listen, we've been through a lot of them together. But anyway, we've got a lot more ahead on this very special day. Coming up at 6, Bruce takes a look at Sue's love affair with local sports, especially the Mets. And tonight at 11, Sue's final broadcast.
She'd say something, do something, and you could always tell when it was coming because she'd get that twinkle, and then she'd do the thing with her script, kind of, and oh boy, here we go. Strap in, kids. It's coming. I don't know what it is, but it's coming.
Well, you're right, Al. It is coming. We're going to look back at Sue's spectacular career with appearances from Al Roker and Brian Williams and Matt Lauer and Jack Cafferty, Jay Leno, Jimmy Fallon, to name a few. Plus, we've got a few surprises for you tonight. That's all coming up at 11 o'clock. Hope you join us then.
Now you see her, now you don't. The 89-year-old driver, who, by the way, is doing just fine, was trying to park at a hair salon in Marlborough, Massachusetts, when she mistakenly hit the gas instead of the brake. Her car crashed into an office next door to the hair salon. The impact sent debris flying and narrowly missed 3 women inside. It's not known if the driver will be charged.
And school's out in Anchorage, Alaska, but no one told a pair of black bears that snuck into Bartlett High School. You can see one of them right there at the bottom of the screen, trotting along slowly. The bears snuck into the school after construction workers left the school's doors open. Police arrived a short time after and chased them out without a problem. All the intruders might have thought they were welcome, since Bartlett High's mascot is the bear.
That makes sense.
This is Alaska, not Chicago.
Maybe they wanted an education.
Well, in our line of work, things can get really hectic with breaking news, developing stories, and such.
Yeah, but one anchor in South Korea manages to make it look very easy, and he's doing it while being visually impaired. Meet Lee Chang-hoon. He's an anchor for the country's state-run broadcast, and he's blind. He delivers and writes the news every day with the help of Braille equipment and an assistant. The network says the 27-year-old is the only blind news anchor on the planet.
That is amazing.
Pretty amazing, yeah.
You can do anything that you set your sights on, right?
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Right?
Good for him. Definitely. Where there's a will, there's a way. And
Exactly.
there he is.
I wonder if you could do your job. Probably could.
I'll bet you probably better than most of us. I
right?
would not doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. All right, let's check on the weather now and see what's happening. Of course, today, stunning, and we'll continue into the weekend. Right now, we'll first take a look at satellite and radar, which is on the quiet side tonight. No rain in sight, just a few scattered clouds. That's going to be the case, actually, through next week. We're not expecting any big rainmakers coming through, any big rain systems at all. Temperatures are very comfortable across the eastern end of Long Island. 68 in Amagansett. It's in the mid-70s up around the North Shore of Long Island. 73 in Islip right now. 81 Morristown. The city at 76. And 80 degrees in Poughkeepsie. Now tonight, when the sun goes down, those temperatures will cool off. We're expecting lows mainly in the 50s tonight to right around 60 in the city under mostly clear skies. Should be beautiful. Nice and cool and comfortable. Tomorrow's another warm day for us. Temperatures back up into the 70s, 80 degrees inland, slightly cooler at the shore, but plenty of sun to go around. Sunday will be slightly cooler because of the ocean temperatures. The shore areas getting influenced by the ocean and the onshore breeze. But by the middle of next week, it's really going to heat up. Summer begins on Wednesday officially, and we're expecting the 90-degree temperatures by then. In the meantime, if you're going to the shore, here's a look at the temperatures for tomorrow. Down the Jersey Shore, mid-70s in Sandy Hook, Point Pleasant, Ocean City at 73. The water temperatures mid-60s to low 70s. Waves over the ocean 2 to 4 feet. There is a moderate risk of rip currents along the shores tomorrow, so make sure that there's a lifeguard close by, and if you don't swim well, you probably should stay out of the water altogether. Still warm for this evening, 73 at 7 o'clock, down to the 60s later on tonight in the city and 50s in the suburbs, so it really cools off, especially to the north and west. Tomorrow, beautiful, 78, 72 on Sunday. So Father's Day, still sunny, but slightly cooler, especially near the shore. And then nothing but sunshine through next week. Temperatures climb back through the 70s to near 80 degrees by the time we get to Tuesday. And then Wednesday, as soon as summer hits officially, so does the heat. 90 degrees for the high temperature on Wednesday, yes, with humidity. 91 on Thursday, and then it drops back to the low 80s on Friday. So summer weather's just around the corner, everybody. Have a great weekend. Back to you.
You know summer's here when it's 90 degrees.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, Janice. Still ahead, we are continuing to follow that breaking news out of Elmsford, New York. Crews on the scene of a 2-alarm fire that has already destroyed one house and is now tearing through another.
And it's Freebie Friday. You can score food and drinks all across the city tonight, but you have to have your smartphone on you to score these deals. Linda's here next to explain. Welcome back. Where else can you get free passes to a top gym, free breakfast, and free beer? Hopefully not all at the same time. Only right here on Freebie Friday.
Sounds like some great treats for all the dads out there. And today we've got a twist by teaming up with Foursquare. Our consumer reporter Linda Baccaro is here to explain. Linda?
Yeah, it is a good treat for Father's Day. Foursquare reached out to us offering you a day filled with freebies. So from morning to night, here's how to get through the day grabbing as many freebies as possible using Foursquare.
21 million users check in at businesses and locations around the globe on Foursquare. It's a free app, and we've got the scoop on free deals you can score using Foursquare.
There are actually 750,000 businesses on Foursquare today doing things like this around New York City.
Start your day healthy with a good workout. And if you haven't joined a place like Crunch yet, try it out for free through Foursquare. Go to any Crunch Fitness gym location and you'll get a free 7-day pass when you check in on Foursquare. And if you're the mayor of that location, you get a free bottle of water. So what's a mayor?
You're the person who's checked in the most to that particular place.
After that workout, it's time for breakfast at Birch Coffee in the Flatiron District. Birch is at 27th Street between Madison and 5th Avenue. Pick up a free muffin, but only on your first check-in. At the end of the day, unwind with a pint of beer at the Manhattan restaurant owned by pop star and actor Justin Timberlake.
I'm bringing sexy back. Yeah.
If you're in the mood for a treat, go to Southern Hospitality and check in, and you get a free Coors Light or Miller Lite.
Southern Hospitality is at 9th Avenue and 45th Street. You can get a free pint of beer every time you check in on Foursquare, but it has to be either Miller Lite or Coors Light Draft. Now it's time for dinner and a freebie at Anfora Italian Restaurant.
Say you're there with a bunch of friends and you check in, you get a free appetizer for the table.
Anfora is on 8th Avenue at Jane Street in the West Village. Show your phone to your server to receive your free ricotta crostini, but there's a limit of 2 per person. And finally, did you know it's International Lobster Day today? At the International Culinary Center on Broadway and Grand, get a free glass of wine if you buy a steamed horseshoe lobster.
And you don't need to check in with Foursquare for that last freebie. By the way, the others are all available any day on Foursquare. And by the way, there are 2 locations for Southern Hospitality Restaurant for that free beer. Remember to get all the information you just saw. Head to our website later this evening. It's NBCNewYork.com and search Freebie Friday. Guys, have a great weekend.
All right, you too, Linda.
You too. That does it for this edition of News 4 New York at 5. To all the dads out there, happy Father's Day.
Somehow I'm craving a lobster roll now. News 4 New York at 6 starts right now.
Live from Studio 3C in Rockefeller Center, this is News 4 New York.
Now at 6, neighborhood outrage after someone sprays swastikas on several buildings. News 4 has obtained video of the person many believe is responsible. A 5th grader wanted to give a speech to his school about same-sex marriage, emphasizing acceptance of gay couples. But the principal said, no way, good policy or bad. And a neighborhood on edge, afraid for their pets because of a roving band of coyotes that are hunting and killing them. Good evening. Swastikas on buildings. First tonight at 6, symbols of hate. Sprayed across a Brooklyn neighborhood. Half a dozen swastikas found on several buildings in Borough Park, which is where News 4's Tracy Strahan is live. Tracy?
Well, Chuck, as they prepare for the Sabbath, this Orthodox Jewish community is really on edge tonight. As you mentioned, that offensive graffiti was found at 6 different locations here in Borough Park. But tonight, we have a better idea of who could be behind it.
News 4 obtained this security video of an unidentified hooded man that residents in Borough Park say spray-painted swastikas across the neighborhood.
As somebody with very little regard for
the 9.1-second boot time. It's pretty quick on the draw, too. It's time to clear the air.
Sometimes you listen to the words, Damien, but
D confirmed several locations in the area were scrawled with the symbols overnight, including a corner store, a car parked outside of a public school, and this synagogue on 16th Avenue. It stopped Chesky Ruby in his tracks when he was on his way to pray.
In the past 30 years that I'm coming around, I've never seen anything like this, especially on a synagogue.
City Councilman David Greenfield is offering a $1,000 reward for information leading to an arrest.
It's a heinous crime to do it in the largest Jewish community in the United States with the largest population of Holocaust survivors, something that's really disturbing.
The city spent the afternoon washing away the blatant reminders of hatred that this Orthodox Jewish community won't soon forget.
That swastika is not graffiti. That swastika represented what happened to 6 million of our people and to many others. That's a symbol of the ultimate hate.
Now, the NYPD confirms to me that so far no one is in custody for this, no arrests have been made, but the Hate Crimes Task Force is a part of this investigation, and they'll be reviewing the video we sent you to get more clues. We're live in Borough Park. Tracy Strahan, News 4 New York.
All right, Tracy, thank you. In New Jersey, SWAT teams and state police bomb squad executed a weapons bust at a home in Raritan Township. Crews surrounded the home in Hunterdon County because the homeowner was suspected of stockpiling and selling assault weapons, ammunition, and explosives. The bomb squad was especially concerned about 2 homemade bombs they believed were inside the house. Police arrested 37-year-old James Patrick Donovan. He faces a series of weapons charges while investigators try to get to the bottom of his alleged operation. And police have identified a woman fatally shot by police following a chase involving a stolen car. She has a long rap sheet with 8 arrests and attempted murder charge. Police say 23-year-old Chantel Davis was driving a stolen Camry and running red lights before she struck a minivan in East Flatbush. After the crash, 2 plainclothes officers approached the car and struggled with Davis. Police say she was shot when a detective's gun went off as she floored the gas pedal and wrestled with it for control of the steering wheel. She was hit once in the chest and she later died at Kings County Hospital.
It's a little frustrating to have to deal with shootings. It seems almost daily, if not. It's a frustrating thing. It's even more frustrating when you're dealing with the police.
And police say the shooting is being investigated, and it's not clear yet whether the shot was accidental or on purpose. A former Goldman Sachs director has been convicted of insider trading. The jury reached the verdict in the case of Rajat Gupta this morning in Manhattan. He was found guilty of conspiracy and 3 counts of securities fraud for leaking confidential information about Goldman Sachs to his billionaire friend, Raj Rajaratnam. Rajaratnam used the information to gain an illegal advantage on massive trades for his hedge fund. He is serving 11 years in prison. A JetBlue pilot who left the cockpit and went on a rant during the middle of a flight is mentally competent to stand trial. A judge in Texas issued that ruling today after hearing evidence about 49-year-old Clayton Osmond's mental state. Osmond was indicted on 1 charge of interfering with a flight crew for the March incident after the plane left New York for Las Vegas. The pilot allegedly ran through the plane's cabin, yelling about Jesus and Al-Qaeda. Passengers wrestled him to the floor, and the plane made an emergency landing in Texas. Earlier this week, the City Council unanimously passed a new bill that would slap stiff penalties on cab drivers who knowingly ferry prostitutes to meet their clients. Well, today, Mayor Bloomberg admitted it could be tough for cabbies to identify those illicit ladies of the night.
You know, if I were a young lady and I dressed in a sporty way, or however you want to phrase it, I would not want somebody thinking that I'm a prostitute.
Well, the mayor was responding to yesterday's colorful protest by the taxi union, which paraded a dozen women in sexy attire in front of City Hall and challenged anybody to pick a prostitute out of the bunch. None of them were prostitutes, by the way. The mayor says he is not sure if the sex trafficking legislation is a good idea. He has not yet signed it into law. Earlier today, President Obama relaxed immigration deportations for young illegal immigrants who came to the United States as children and have never committed a crime. But even as that news spread, 3 more Indonesian Christians facing deportation took refuge at a church sanctuary in Highland Park overnight. New Jersey reporter Brian Thompson has been following this developing story for nearly 3 months, and he has the latest now from Highland Park.
Refugee Harry Pangamanan sings at this Father's Day protest outside the Reformed Church of Highland Park with his children standing by his side. He took sanctuary overnight against U.S. immigration or ICE agents and now will only see his kids when they come to visit. The same holds true for Rodi Sanger and Ganawan Lim. They also arrived overnight, now relegated to doing odd jobs in this church, avoiding deportation for the sake of their kids.
They are American citizens. My country is not safe for them.
Over the past couple of decades, radical Muslims have terrorized Indonesia's small Christian community in an orgy of sporadic violence. These refugees came on tourist visas, then, against immigration laws, took up residence here, got jobs, married, and had children. Oldie Manopo has spent nearly 3 months here in sanctuary, often reading his Bible.
I pray to God for make me strong.
The Reverend Seth Copperdale is leading the cause, splitting duties as minister and sanctuary provider. President Obama's action today with so-called DREAM Act children has no impact with these refugees, a total of 8 now.
I find the president's rhetoric about immigration and his failure to even get close to living up to the rhetoric to be appalling.
Here, there was a final plea to the president.
Please honor the spirit of the Father's Day and give us a chance to be with our family.
A spokesman for ICE, the Immigration Service, told me again today that for now they will respect the church's sanctuary and have no plans to conduct a raid here. In Highland Park, Brian Thompson, News 4 New York.
A 5th grader at PS 195 in Queens wanted to give a speech about same-sex marriage at a school-wide assembly, but the school's principal said no. And that's created quite a controversy on both sides of this issue. News 4's government affairs reporter Melissa Russo has the story.
Cameron Slade thought his speech about same-sex marriage would be a sure winner in today's speaking competition in his school.
I thought my original speech was really going to win. I was very confident in it.
But Cameron's mom says the school principal nixed her son's speech, saying he would have to choose a different subject because parents might not approve of their children hearing about same-sex marriage during a school assembly. But it's a subject Cameron says kids should know about.
The original message was that no matter what orientation you are, you should be treated the same way as a straight person.
School's Chancellor Dennis Walcott defended the principal, saying she just wanted some time to give parents a heads up and that Cameron would be able to deliver the speech on Monday.
The principal felt that she needed to do more due diligence with her parent community because of the topic of the speech itself.
What do you think about the chancellor defending the principal?
Well, the chancellor should not have defended. There's no defense for the principal. Actually, I think the principal should be disciplined for doing what she did. And the chancellor needs to enforce the existing anti-discrimination policies of the Department of Education.
Outside the school in Rosedale, Queens today, staff were overheard telling parents not to speak to reporters as they picked up their kids. But family members who did stop told us they were not uncomfortable with the subject.
All over America, their parents, they are in school and their parents is the same-sex marriage.
So you don't think it's something that the principal should try to delay?
No, because it's real.
I was really disappointed I couldn't read it today, but at least I still get to read my speech on Monday.
He's being a good sport. Instead of giving his preferred speech about same-sex marriage, Cameron had to compete today using one about animal cruelty, not his first choice. And as he predicted, he did not win. But he's certainly having a learning experience, Chuck. City Council Speaker Christine Quinn, who recently had her own same-sex wedding, has invited Cameron to deliver his speech at City Hall. Not sure if he will yet. His mom seemed to think all this media attention might be a little overwhelming. Back to you.
All right, Melissa, thank you. Coming up as we continue Coyote Patrol, we go on the hunt for a pack of wild coyotes who are killing family pets in Fairfield. And 32 years of Sue Simmons, celebrating her spectacular career on this, her final day at Channel 4. A look at some of her most memorable moments, including Janice Huff's favorite, the groundhog. There it is. Hurricane Irene.
Absolutely, Chuck, my favorite for sure. And we've got some good weather out to talk about for the next several days going into next week when we start summer officially. I'll have the forecast and not a groundhog impersonation from me coming up.
A string of coyote attacks on pets in Fairfield County in Connecticut has the town on edge there. Animal Control is warning residents to keep their pets indoors now. As John Newell found out, the coyotes are getting bolder. They're moving into populated areas.
A coyote lurking in the dark in Fairfield, Connecticut.
A coyote in our backyard. Yeah, we live about 2 or 3 blocks up the street.
What went through your mind when you realized what it was?
Fear. Stay inside.
Not only have there been more reported sightings of coyotes here recently, more reported sightings in people's backyards. During the past 5 months in Fairfield, there have been 5 cases of coyotes attacking dogs. Just last week, coyotes went after and killed a woman's beagle. Experts say there are 2 main reasons for the increased coyote presence.
This is more than usual because of the mild winters that we've been experiencing.
Coyotes are also getting pretty brave. They're becoming more accustomed to humans being in their habitats. We've encroached upon all the woods. We're now in their habitat as part of our living environment.
And that's why Animal Control has issued a warning to all pet owners.
Never ever leave your dog out in your yard in hours of darkness, early morning, late at night. This is when coyotes are most active. This is when they're going to come out and they're going to try to find an opportunity to hunt.
Our dog is usually with me. We go with her. We don't let her go outside without my husband or myself. So that was all right, but it was just frightening to think that it's in neighborhoods and there are children around the neighborhood, and it's scary.
In Fairfield, Connecticut, John Noel, News 4 New York.
And when News 4 6 continues, she's been sitting next to me for more than 30 years, saying goodbye to my colleague and friend Sue Simmons. On her last day here, we have a special tribute to Sue next. Well, the hours are ticking down until my longtime partner's final newscast. Today is Sue Simmons' last day at NBC4. And it's certainly an emotional end to a storied career. And we'll celebrate her many special qualities and moments tonight at 11 when she and I share the anchor desk for the last time. But one of her many admirers wanted to get started early.
Hey, Sue, I'm now old enough to hear nice people come up to me and say, I grew up watching you, and I'm always taken aback to hear it. But in this case, Sue, I grew up watching you over on the Jersey Shore within sight of the Verrazano Bridge and the Twin Towers. May they all rest in peace. We were a Channel 4 family, a Live at 5 family, a Chuck and Sue family, and now I have a family of my own, and we're the same way, and you're a part of it. I remember the night you broke in with the bulletin from Ford's Theater. Sue, I'm kidding there, but you are a part of the firmament of New York television. As your friend, I will miss you. As your coworker, I will miss you. And for many years, I've proudly been able to say, I work with Sue Simmons.
Oh, and Brian actually started that last night. We had a wonderful party for Sue last night. It was just terrific, and he gave a wonderful toast, as did many other people. But we all have been reflecting for the last few days on special Sue moments.
Yes, and you know, there are many special Sue moments. We don't just remember her for her integrity and her wit and, you know, her beauty, but this one particular face will stand the test of time. Punxsutawney Phil officially saw his shadow, but our own very local groundhog has a different story. We have videotape. It's Sue Simmons, our own local groundhog. Sue did not see her shadow, did you, Sue? Because you were sleeping this morning, didn't you?
Yes! Freshness to it.
Oh, you see the peanut, don't you? I know. Could you see two more unfriendly eyes? Chuck, I just want you to know that I pay tribute to you in more than one way. Once a year, February 2, I make a little face imitating you, and the rest of the year, I work with Chuck.
I've never seen a more thoroughly unimpressed creature in my life. Your charm was wasted entirely on him.
He just kept... To get a close-up here, if you can. I don't mean to direct, but... Okay.
Get a close-up. That's going to take a while.
Where's it?
We don't have any cameras pointed at you right here to get you close-up. Here we go. Here it comes.
So it were these little eyes that were just looking at me. There was no hint of a smile, nothing. Yeah. Well, tomorrow I'll get him.
I'm not sure which was funnier, her doing all the faces or actually talking to Staten Island Chuck the Groundhog.
I know. She did a fine interview with him.
Yes,
she can handle any kind of interview subject, even if Groundhog doesn't say a thing. So.
Well, I got to tell you that there will never be another face like that on television. Nope. And long live Groundhog Day. I will not be trying that, just so you know, when it comes around next year. All right, let's check on the weather and see what's going on outside. We have got a beautiful evening out there. It's been fantastic all day long, and this weekend, no exception. Right now it's 72 degrees in Midtown, sunshine across the area, and very pleasant temperatures for most locations. And no rain to speak of, just a few scattered clouds here and there. Dry weather is going to be the word for our weather forecast for the next several days, into the end of next week, actually. Right now, temperatures across New Jersey range from 70 in Red Bank to 78 in Hillsborough, so pretty nice there. 70 over the Hamptons, 77 in Newburgh. Temperatures near 80 right now in Poughkeepsie, just below that. As the sun goes down, the temperatures will cool off quite a bit. Starlit skies, quiet weather, and temperatures in the 50s, especially north and west of the city. Right around 60 in Midtown for tonight. Tomorrow it warms up again, nice and sunny. Temperatures are in the mid-70s. Shore area should be right around 70 as well. It looks like Father's Day Sunday will be slightly cooler because of an onshore flow off the ocean. But then, by the middle of next week, here comes summer. It officially begins on Wednesday, and the temperatures will soar into the 90s by then as well. Here's a check of that. Enjoy the cooler weather while we have it. 70s to near 80 for the next several days. The coolest day is going to be Monday with a high of 70, and then it slowly warms up again into the mid to upper 70s on Tuesday near 80, and by Wednesday we hit 90, and here comes the humidity and summertime temperatures. Have a good weekend, though, everybody.
All right, Janice, thank you. And Bruce is straight ahead with sports.
Well, Chuck, the Stars serve up some magic tonight as we look back at Sue Simmons and a wonderful career, and we talk about her love of the Mets and of sports and about this great city. Stick around.
The Verizon Fios Sports Desk is brought to you by Verizon Fios. Welcome to America's fastest, most consistent, most reliable internet. Welcome to Life on Fios.
The last time Tiger Woods won a major was in 2008 at the U.S. Open at Torrey Pines. Now, 4 years later at our national championship, he's got the golf world buzzing again at the treacherous Olympic Club. Woods, who won the Memorial just 2 weeks ago, began the day 3 shots off the lead. And check out this magnificent tee shot on the downhill par 3 third hole. Get this. He hit an 8-iron from 220 yards out, and he rolled it within 5 feet of the hole. Tiger converted the birdie putt to give him the outright lead. But he's bogeyed 3 straight holes to fall to 1 over par and trails 3 golfers who are at 1 under, including 17-year-old Bo Hostler. NBC Sports is all over tomorrow's 3rd round action of the U.S. Open. Live coverage from the Olympic Club in the Bay Area begins at 3 p.m. It's the U.S. Open on NBC. Sue Simmons and sports, they go hand in hand. She's as crazy about them as I am about her. And since this is Sue's final night on News 4 New York, here's a little video salute to my colleague and good friend who will forever be a part of the landscape of this great city.
Sue, what's going on? It's David Wright of the New York Mets. I want to congratulate you on a tremendous career. Now that you have some extra time on your hands, maybe you can make it out to Citi Field a little more. We appreciate your support throughout the years, and thanks for always being there for us.
Hey, Sue, it's Terry Collins, the manager of the New York Mets. Just wanted to take a second to wish you all the best, and always understand there's a place next to me on the bench when you're ready to manage.
The Mets love Sue Simmons, and Sue Simmons loves the Mets.
Go Mets!
The moments of greatness.
Little roller up along first, behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
And the moments of despair. And when it comes to the Amazons, even in spring training, you better be on your toes.
Did the Mets win today?
I don't know if the Mets won today. What's that, Danny? Yes, they won. They won, Sue. Their 4th win of the preseason.
Thank you very much.
Well, Sue, we're here in the Mets booth, Gary, Keith, and Ron, and we can't believe that 32 years have gone by, and we know how much you love the Mets, and, well, we're hoping now that you have some more time on your hands, you might come over and see us.
That would be wonderful, Sue. I have very fond memories of you, watching you on TV, and of course I have been in the studio during Live at 5 and listening to your laughter. You are a character. Network News will never be the same. We'll miss you a lot.
See you, Sue. We hope you'll come see us.
This is News 4 New York with Chuck Scarborough and Sue Simmons.
Well, good evening. The New York Mets are baseball's 1986 world champions.
1986. Wow, what a great year.
fond memories. What a great year for New York, and Sue is a big part of it as well. This is not good, and I want to say thank you for all your support. You've always been a big supporter of mine as I've supported you. It's been great knowing you over the years, and look forward to seeing you real soon. We'll catch a game, and maybe next year at the All-Star game at Citi Field.
Sue is not only a diehard Mets fan, she's a true New York sports fan. She appreciates the players, the coaches, the icons who define New York.
Hi, Sue. Mark Messier of the New York Rangers. I just want you to know that since I came to New York in 1991, I've always been a big fan, and I wish you all the best in the future.
Hey, Sue, this is Tom Coughlin, Giants coach. I want to congratulate you. What a magnificent run. In one city, to have the kind of tenure that you've had, we all congratulate you. Thank you for your support.
Sue, it's Derek Jeter here. Just want to say thank you very much for being a part of New York all these years. Wish you nothing but the best. It's been a privilege to watch.
That's what you call appreciation and respect. Sue, all I can say is I love you and I will miss you dearly.
That was fabulous, Bruce. Thank you very much. NBC Nightly News is straight ahead, and we'll see you at 11 o'clock tonight for a celebration of Sue's wonderful career. Thanks for joining us. Good night.